Guys, hope you're all well. Welcome back to the channel. For those of you that are returning, anyone that's new, hit the subscribe button. There's plenty of stuff on the channel with regard to this kind of topic of discussion. So I've just found this today on the Express, which is an English newspaper. The headline reads, "Did Large Hadron Collider Create Time Travel? Machine shut down after plane vanishes." So the Large Hadron Collider created a time warp that sent a passenger jet thousands of miles off course in the blink of an eye and caused a massive power blackout, it has shockingly been claimed. So this article was from the 3rd of August, as you can see there. Right, the huge scientific experiment, which is used to collide particles to discover more about how the universe was formed, opened a time portal, meaning an Iberworld Airbus A330-300 ended up landing 5,500 miles from where it was supposed to, conspiracy theorists say. Built amongst miles of tunnels under the Swiss-French border, the complex machine is run by the European Organisation for Nuclear Research, also known as Cern, everyone's favourite place right now. Claims are now ride Cern scientists shut down the LHC during an experiment immediately after the incident with the plane. An article on website Freedom Fighter Times said the power released from the LHC was so strong that it sent a time warp across the planet. What really happened can be best explained as a massive power outage all across South America. So I found this interesting because many people, so my geography isn't great, that's why I haven't said this in any of my previous videos, but many people say that South America seems to have shifted from where it used to be. So the report said CERN scientists began a series of experiments during which they discovered their testing was distorting our Earth's magnetic field and had shot off a time wave towards the core of the planet. Now it's very interesting that this is saying about the Earth's magnetic field as well, because from my understanding of Nikola Tesla's work, and for anyone that's new to what I'm saying here, do check out Nikola Tesla. The guy is a hero, but due to his work, he claimed that we think about objects incorrectly, effectively, and it's more to do with energy and electricity. So that's very interesting that they're talking about the Earth's magnetic field as well. Right, tracking showed the wave veered exactly towards the Sun Gate high in the Bolivian Andes Mountains, the report said. The report added the initial time wave spawned by the LHC erupted from the Sun Gate and headed out towards the space above South America. The wave then glanced into the path of an Iberworld Airbus A330-300 flown by Air Comet, which was ready to begin its descent. I'll try and skip through the bits that I deem aren't so much necessary. All 170 passengers and the crew of A7301 were safe, and after 17 hours on the ground in Spain, they departed back to Bolivia. So the bizarre plane incident is said to have happened on November 1st, 2009. This is where it gets a bit interesting. I believe it's this bit here. A day later, CERN lost power at the LHC and announced some days later in a statement a bird had dropped a piece of baguette onto the machinery, causing the shutdown. Okay, so I've got a previous video up about CERN, and they apparently had a shutdown because a weasel, so I'm doing air quotes, you just can't see it, that a weasel had chewed through a wire or something to that effect. So now a bird has dropped a piece of baguette onto machinery. Now I just feel like with the word weasel and the word baguette, they're quite odd things. So bearing in mind this is one of the most, if not the most expensive piece of machinery that we've ever created as the human species, to my understanding. It sounds like the security must be pretty lax if a baguette or a weasel can shut down the LHC. So I thought, is there something to the word baguette that I don't know of? The word baguette as I know it is a long French flute piece of bread, I guess. So I did a bit of looking into the word baguette and the origins of it. So the word baguette was not used to refer to a type of bread until 1920. But what is now known as a baguette may have existed well before that. Okay, where is it on here? So let me just find it. I did have what it is now, or what it was known as, but I'm just trying to find this for proof. So I can't find it on here at the moment, exactly where it is on this document. Oh, there we go. So so baguette comes from France, so it's a French word for French bread. So a translation of baguette, magic or magique, of magician. And if you think about it, it's kind of a wand, isn't it? A long baguette is kind of a wand, like a magic wand. So, from my understanding as well, in military terms, the word a bird refers to a plane. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, guys, in the comment section below. I don't have any military background, but I'm pretty sure I've heard that before, that if they say, oh, there's a bird in the sky, that they're referring to a plane. So if you think about it, let's translate this, a plane has dropped a piece of magic onto the machinery. It could be some sort of coding, because it's just so odd that a weasel has shut it down. Now a bird has dropped a piece of baguette onto it. Yeah, and as I say, it's their alleged plane that has time travelled. So plane and magic in the same sentence there when you break down the terminology of the words used. Anyway, you get my drift there, but I'll read the rest of the report. The report added, after this mysterious event, Cern's scientists shut down the LHC, blaming their failed experiment on a bird dropping a piece of bread onto outdoor machinery. After which, their director for research on scientific computing, Sergio Bertolucci, warned that the Titanic LHC machine may possibly create or discover previous unimagined scientific phenomena or unknown unknowns, such as extra dimension, i.e., what I personally believe is going on with the Mandela effect, which could have been going on for much longer than even we speculate. So the report and other similar ones went on to claim, even after the LHC was shut down, dimensional distortions created in South America by the time wave continued and caused the gateway of the Sun monolith to send out what Russian scientists likened to a digital communication. This was said to have been blasted towards thousands of pyramids and other ancient sites in Brazil and the Andes region, leading to a massive power outage, plunging tens of millions of people into darkness. So, is any of this true? Oh, got stupid ads coming up on here, guys. I'll close that. So, well, it's true that CERN have been testing the LHC on November the 1st, after it was out of action for more than a year following a previous power failure. It is also true CERN had to postpone the test runs of the LHC on November the 2nd, 2009, after the bird dropped bread into an external electricity supply, cutting power to the machine, as announced in a press release some days later. There are also reports online that flight A7301 ended up at Santa Cruz in Tenerife instead of the same in Bolivia, with 170 passengers on board with no explanation initially given. Okay, so this bit is quite interesting. So it is also true that on November the 11th, 2009, a power cut affected millions of people in Brazil for 2 hours and in Paraguay for 20 minutes. So that could be, again, I don't want to jump to conclusions, that could definitely be a link to it. So the cause of this was given as a huge hydroelectric dam suddenly malfunctioning. So that's the main piece of this article. Well, actually, there's one piece here that I want to show you that I sort of touched on in a previous article. So skeptics say conspiracy theorists are very good at filling in blanks and joining dots. They also monitor news sites, so when events like these occur around the same time, they piece them together to create a new theory. This, coupled with a distrust of most official explanations for unexpected events, means there is only going to be one outcome, and theory is born, which then travels like wildfire over various websites, debunkers claim. That statement right there. I tell you what, for anyone that hasn't woken up to how this world is really run, that may deter you. You may read that and think what I'm talking about. You may think the Mandela effect. You may think everything is just a bunch of rubbish. All right, so the words conspiracy theory. Right. A conspiracy theory is an explanatory or speculative hypothesis suggesting that two or more persons or an organization have conspired to cause or cover up, through secret planning and deliberate action, an event or situation typically regarded as illegal or harmful. The term conspiracy theory has derogatory connotations, suggesting explanations that invoke conspiracies without warrant. So, without warrant, okay, guys, so, I mean, there's so many things that don't make sense in the world, and yeah, I mean, hypothetically, I guess I could be just piecing together everything and coming up with a completely inaccurate answer. Could be the case. You could say that about everything. I don't think that's the case. There's always a possibility, but when you look at the roots of the word conspiracy theory as well, that it's actually the CIA that pretty much coined that phrase, the Central Intelligence Agency. That in itself speaks volumes to me. And another thing is as well, is I'm pretty sure it's FBI declassified documents that after 50 years, they can then be open so people can read them. I'm pretty sure it's 50 years. It may be 100 years, but I'm pretty sure it's 50 years. So with that being said, you've only got to look at a lot of documents nowadays, and I'm pretty sure that the people, when those events happened, were called conspiracy theorists. And it's only 50, 100 years later, however long it is, that they were told that what they were thinking and feeling were correct. Just bear that in mind with whatever research you're doing, guys. That's pretty much everything from me today. Yeah, enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and have a good one. Bye.